बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हो आप? मैं हूं मोहम्मद आजम रियाज और आप देख रहे हैं जीएन न्यूज उर्दू। आज तारीख है The 18th of May 2022 Russia-Ukraine war 83rd day of the invasion. The fate of Ukrainian troops after withdrawal from Mariupol is unclear. Peace talks between Russia and Ukraine stalled. The fate of Mariupol, hundreds of Ukrainian soldiers, is unclear as the Azovstal resistance is waning. Ukraine war, Israel is cautious because people blame Russia. While PM Bennett is trying to mediate for peace, many Israelis from former Soviet countries are opposed to the Moscow attack. After the fall of communism, more than 1 million Jews emigrated from the former Soviet Union. 3. The eyewitness of Azovstal describes his ordeal. 2 months of continuous bombing. Russia's president has said it would be impossible for some dependent European states to ban oil imports from his country, while the European Union has failed to reach a consensus on how to implement the measure. Ukraine peace talks stalled. Officials say Ukrainian and Russian officials say talks between Moscow and Kyiv are stalled. The retired colonel is speaking on Russian TV. A former senior Russian official has warned that the situation in Ukraine could worsen for Russian forces. Ukraine is doing everything to rescue trapped militants. But Kyiv declined to say how many troops were still trapped, saying such information was sensitive.
Around the world news. Australian elections. A simple leader. Australians are running for the country's first election since May 21, 2019. Finland agrees to NATO membership. Finnish-Russian trade on thin ice. Finland and Sweden are eyeing NATO membership. Their economic relations with Russia will be affected. The proposal to join NATO has been overwhelmingly approved, possibly reversing a decades-old policy of neutrality. Less than 10 lawmakers opposed applying for a defense alliance. Why does Turkey oppose Finland and Sweden's NATO membership? Ankara says it will not open the door to unity between the two Nordic countries. Here's what you need to know. 1 million empty seats. American families burst into tears. As the nation touches the deadly mark of the 1 million coronavirus, families remember loved ones lost during epidemics. Rising African food prices. The war in Ukraine. The war in Ukraine is having a profound effect on Africa. Wheat, gas and petrol prices are at record highs. Middle East news. Dozens injured in Israeli police raid on Palestinian funerals. Walid al-Sharif's funeral was attacked a few days after the Israeli attack on the funeral of journalist Shirin Abu Akleh. Israeli forces have arrested a man who attacked Palestinians after the funeral of 23-year-old Walid al-Sharif, who died of his injuries during clashes with Israeli police at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem last month. Broke down. Iran says arrested French nationals helped ferment protests. State TV says the two were under surveillance and met with people who organized the teachers' protest. Hezbollah shocked by Lebanon's election deals. The Iranian-backed Hezbollah movement and its allies have lost their majority in the Lebanese parliament. Financial crisis. First voting in Lebanon after the explosion. Voters have begun casting their ballots in a crucial parliamentary election in a crisis-ridden country. Tunisia. Protests point to new alliance against President Said. Members of a new opposition movement have accused President Kais Saied of returning Tunisia to a state of dictatorship. Asian news. North Korea's entry reveals serious health situation. COVID-19 took a step back after more than 2 years of denial, and Pyongyang is now struggling to overcome it. North Korea mobilized the army amid the rise of COVID. North Korea has stepped up its efforts to combat the spread of the coronavirus, as cases continue to rise. Power outage hurts Nepal's economy. Nepal relies heavily on electricity imported from India, where production is declining amid one of the worst power crises in years. India, is it time to criminalize marital rape? The court's failure to give a clear verdict in convicting marital rape has highlighted public divisions over the issue. Can Brazil and Argentina satisfy India's edible oil hunger? After the war, Ukraine's supply was disrupted and Indonesia banned palm oil exports. India looked to new markets for its needs. India is reducing Kashmir assembly seats again to deprive Muslims of power? Politicians and experts say the limitation of constituencies will make the Muslim vote irrelevant in India's only Muslim-majority region. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has said his country has enough petrol to run for just one more day, and lacks 74 billion in funds to pay for essentials. Petrol prices fall in Sri Lanka till last day. PM tells crisis hit nation in Sri Lanka. Ruling party lawmakers hastily blocked a no-confidence motion against President Gotabaya Rajapakse. Returning Pakistani students are worried about their future. How to help Afghanistan's hunger crisis. Pakistani news joining PTI with associates of important political personalities. Multan, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, PTI, defector National Assembly member Ahmad Hossain Dita from NA 154 constituency has become a part of PTI. According to details, Malik Saqib Mahmood May from National Assembly constituency NA 154 Multan has joined Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, PTI. Met and joined PTI regularly with colleagues. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has arrived in the United States on his first foreign official visit, where he will attend a UN conference on food security and meet with US officials, especially his counterpart Antony Blinken. Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari has visited the United States at a time when relations between the two countries are at an all-time low, and observers say the significance of the visit may be merely symbolic. According to Professor Dr. Rafat Hussain, an expert on international affairs, the recent visit of Bilawal Bhutto Zardari to the United States should not be expected to lead to long-term agreements or interests. Ihsan Mushtaq Mohir removed from office. Karachi, Ihsan Mushtaq Mohir has been removed from his post. According to details, Afzal Kamran Fazal of grade 21 has been given additional charge of Ihsan in place of Mushtaq Mohir. Mushtaq Mohir has been removed due to the recent rise in terrorism. The government will complete its term, the decision of the coalition parties in the meeting. A meeting of the leaders of the ruling coalition chaired by Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has decided that the present government will complete its term till August 2023, and together electoral reforms and economic decisions will be taken. A citizen has filed an application in anti-corruption to file a case against former Punjab Chief Minister Sardar Osman Bazdar. According to details, to file a petition against Sardar Osman Khan Bazdar in anti-corruption headquarters, the citizen did not reveal his identity. Secretary to the former Chief Minister in the petition Tahir Khurshid, Omar Bazdar, Turk Khan Bazdar, Jafar Khan Bazdar, Amir Taimur, Mukhtar Ahmad Jotoi, Samiullah Chaudhry, Habib Gulman, Captain, R. Ijaz Jafar and Tahir Khan Bazdar. A case was also registered against him.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe this channel.